Hi everyone, Manuela Marcheggianni from Isomers Skincare. Welcome to our channel. Today we're going to talk about cold therapy, cold plunge therapy, or otherwise known as cold water immersion. Now, this basically is the concept of sitting in cold water or ice water for a prolonged period of time, and it depends on your tolerance level. It's a couple of minutes, it could be a quick plunge, it could be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. A lot of people actually talk about the fact that they fill a tub with water and ice and then they sit there for 10 to 15 minutes. Now, is this good? Actually, there's a lot of scientific evidence showing that cold water immersion therapy or cryotherapy, so it doesn't actually have to be cold water, is actually very good for you. And this is something that I have been practicing for a very long time. Not regularly, and I really should get back on it because the benefits are amazing. And I think, as you get older and you don't recover as quickly and you have more inflammation or circulation issues, you're going to find that the cold immersion is actually better. So what does it actually provide you with? What does it do? First of all, it helps reduce inflammation. So if you've got inflammation, the cold water immersion is going to help with that. So when you've got inflammation, your joints are stiff, you've got puffiness, you're not moving as freely. So this is something that's really important to reduce the inflammation. Another thing it's going to improve your circulation. And that again, because of that cold, that temperature change, that shock to your system, really works on pumping your lymphatic system. It's going to pump your circulation as well, and that's going to help with the regulatory. So that's really good for your body because, inflammation is something that ages you. And inflammation is, I would consider, unless it's in wound healing itself, because that could be a bit of protection, but overall inflammation of the joints of the body is not ideal. We try to use anti-inflammatories, right? To really, it helps reduce pain, swelling, discomfort, mobility. It's also going to increase your recovery. So if you're working out and you find you have muscle fatigue, you find that your body is not recovering as well, you've got to take longer between workouts, cold immersion therapy helps speed up the recovery. And I'll get a little bit more into how I started doing it a while ago. It's going to increase your immune system. This again is very beneficial. So when you're thinking about your immune system and being overall healthier, the cold immersion therapy is going to do that. It also helps with your skin tone and elasticity. And again, this has a lot to do with this rapid temperature change and forcing the body to adapt and to change and shift. Some people do find also it helps with a bit of weight loss, and that actually could be to the fact that your body is cooling and then heating very quickly, and that can speed up the metabolism, although it's more of an anecdotal piece of information and not really a scientifically backed one. The other thing that it's good is that it helps with, and I find this a lot with the cold immersion therapy, it helps with mental clarity. You sleep better, you think better, you feel better, you just feel clearer when you're doing it. So how do you do it? Many you've seen, and I haven't tried this format. I've tried two different ways, but the most popular that people talk about right now is they take a bathtub or they take some kind of vessel that you can actually put your whole body in. They put cold water in, they put a lot of ice in, and they lower themselves in and they cover themselves up to the neck area, cover your shoulders, or try to get as much of your body in as possible. So that's a very popular one. For me, that one takes a lot of space and time. I mean, I guess you could do it in your bathtub, get a couple of bags of ice, throw that in a couple of times a week. That's one way of doing it. I've tried using cryotherapy where I go into a vessel itself, and that actually, I think we'll be able to insert it here of me going into cryotherapy. That will do for a few minutes. That, the temperature is very regulated. It happens very quickly. Your body starts to get, getting the effects of the cold immersion within a minute or two. So it's a very dedicated way. So you've got to go out and probably go to a place where they offer this kind of therapy. So that one is different, but that one is I find it fun. It's very successful. It's interesting. At least you've got to try it once, because that's really doing cryotherapy properly. The other was how I was introduced to it by a friend of mine, a neighbor of mine, who was an Olympic coach. And he used to train sprinters, the fastest sprinters in the world, actually. And part of his training for the sprinters, well, they did their drills, they did all their workouts, but every day they had to do what he called hot and colds. And what that was he would have them take a 3-minute hot shower, followed by a 1-minute as cold as you can tolerate shower. Again, 3-minute hot, 1 minute cold, 3 minutes hot, 1 minute cold, and you're done. So it is a set of 3 doing these hot and colds. I found that it's affordable. You can do it at home. You can kind of ease your way in if it's a little too hot and a little bit too cold for you. Try to push yourself on the extremes, because for a lot of people, if you have, high blood pressure, heart condition, some contraindications, ask your doctor about this. But this is something that you can utilize, these cold plunge therapies or these hot and cold therapy at home. Also, very important. My friend Charlie, who is the one who taught me this, many years ago, and we did it at home with the hot and colds. He said too, the reason why he actually preferred, so I'm taking it from a professional Olympic coach and a trainer of world-class athletes. It's really important to get your head in, right? So you get your head under the hot water, get your head under the cold water. And he said that was important because it helped reprogram, like it reset everything. So a lot of times when they're doing cold plunges and you're only doing parts of your body, that's going to be very local and that's very good. But I think overall, the one about resetting your system, the mental clarity, the lymphatic system, I think getting your head under that water, I think it's the optimum way to go. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the discussion of cold water immersion or hot and cold therapy. It's something that I think is good to do and it's fun to do, and it really does give you a lot of energy and clarity. It gives you energy when you need it, but it also helps you rest. So it's like the best of both worlds. I hope you enjoyed this discussion. I look forward to your comments and questions below. And again, hope to see you soon. Thank you so much for tuning in.